Good morning. Welcome into another edition of Legal Access. Today we're going to be talking about workers' compensation. We'll get to that in a little bit. First of all, we have a special guest with us today. When we get to the workers' compensation segment, we're going to be talking with three different attorneys from the McGuire Law Firm to answer all your questions. Whether you're an employee that's been hurt on the job or an employer that wants to know what you're supposed to do in case somebody comes to you and has been injured. Today, the workers' compensation, our topic. Phone numbers on your screen. If you'd like to get your calls in early, please feel free to do so. On our panel here today to answer your workers' comp questions from the McGuire Law Firm is Ian McGuire, also Brittany Jones and Mike Smith. And right in the middle right there, as well as our special guest for today, is Sean Mazur. He is from the Community Kitchen of Myrtle Beach, and we're getting to the season where we definitely start talking about these issues. So Sean, I appreciate you taking out time today.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it's always great to have Sean with us. Dave, Sean is just, how long have you been at the Community Kitchen, Sean?
I've been at the Community Kitchen for 12 years now.
And just does a fantastic job. If anybody doesn't know, it's on Joe White.
Yeah, 1411 Mr. Joe White Avenue.
And it's very busy. For breakfast, for lunch, you feed roughly 400 people.
Roughly 400 people a day. We do about 185 for breakfast and just about the same for lunch nowadays also. So we're getting into the busy season.
And you know, the reason that you feed so many people is it is an issue in Myrtle Beach, as it is in so many places and cities around the country. And that's simply that people either can't eat or can't afford to eat the way they should. I know we've talked in the past, there's a lot of people that are homeless. There's people with, you know, sometimes with mental and emotional issues, but there's also just people that come for breakfast and then they go to work, but they have a hard time making it, and they could at least get a hot meal in the morning to help them on their day.
Yeah, it's just, you know, the vast majority of the people that we serve are just the working poor that come in. They can't make ends meet, whether it's going to be rent or prescriptions or utilities or food, and we're blessed that we get to take care at least of the food part of it for them.
Well, with food insecurity being so high these days, and then you've got the possibility of seeing the SNAP benefits going away here, are you guys prepared for an influx?
We are prepared for an influx. We've already seen the influx also. I mean, starting on Monday, we're doing about 10% more than what we normally do. For a lunch especially, we would do, you know, we're doing probably about 20 more people for lunch, where the line would be over with about 12:30. We serve from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. The line will be over with at 12:30. And nowadays, this week, 1 o'clock, people are still in line waiting to get through. And we don't care who people are, what they've done, where they've been, or what reason that they're there. They just need, if they're hungry, they just need to come in and get a meal.
And we have you on the show because it is such a prevalent and pressing issue. And I know there's so many people in our community that want to help and with different things. And people don't know sometimes where to go to help and who to help. And I don't know if there's a better place to give help and assistance to than the Community Kitchen in Myrtle Beach. And you know, I know you always encourage people, if they want to come and volunteer or just come and see what's happening, they can do that. But the most important thing is to provide funding so it can continue to run the way it's run so wonderfully all these years. I know, as far as, tell us a little about how you get food. I know you have to purchase a great deal of it, but how else does the businesses in the community help you?
A lot of stuff that we get, probably 99% of it, is we get it from Trader Joe's. We've started picking up from them. We get it from Food Lion, 2 separate Publix, and then also Kroger. Anything that hits its best by date, they put it aside for us. We go around in a refrigerated truck, bring it back, sort it, weigh it, cook it, freeze it, give it away, whatever we might do with it. So we are absolutely dependent on them. So the food part of it in our general feeding program is pretty much taken care of, except for around the holidays when, you know, the holiday meals start coming out and we need to get the turkey and the stuffing and the green beans, mashed potatoes, all the fixins. But our kids program that we have also, that is 100%, we buy everything fresh on that, and you know, we want to make sure that we have the freshest ingredients and the freshest snacks that we can give to them.
And what's that?
Yeah,
sorry, Dave.
That would be granola bars. You know, just regular fruit snacks. We go out and we purchase fresh fruit for them also. different things like goldfish crackers, just little things that are prepackaged and individually wrapped that they can come and pick up and take it back to their individual programs and give out to their kids.
So how does that work? Like who comes to pick up the kids' snacks, things like that?
Whoever is in charge of the program that we're dealing with at the
Okay.
time. In the
Is it
past,
different programs like with local schools?
yeah. Well,
or-
right now we're providing for the Boys and Girls Club,
Okay.
and then also for Race Path Community Center. And
That's great.
in the past, we've had to cut back a little bit because of funding concerns. In the past, we've also done YMCA, Mary C. Canty Recreation Center, and Pepper Gettings Recreation Center. But as I said, we've had to cut back a little bit on it this year, and hopefully come January we can start that back up and feed the kids that need to be fed, because there's over the summer it was 1,105 kids every single day that we provided for.
Wow.
So, and
it
when
was
you
a-
talk
it was a
about
lot.
funding and people, sending in, charitable donations,
Mm-hmm.
tell us a little about where that money goes and why, and I think you touched on it,
Yeah,
but why
that-
that's such an important part of what you do.
Well, a lot of people, when they think of nonprofit organizations, they don't realize that we still have to pay insurance. We still have to pay the 3 employees that are there. We still have to pay for utilities, which are going up every single year. There's just different things that we need to pay for audits. We get audited every single year by a private auditor, so everybody's sure that we're all in the up and up and not worried about where the money's going. Everybody can go and directly see where every penny goes.
That's
And
great.
that's something that we're quite proud of, actually.
Yeah.
And which is fantastic. If people want to donate, how would they do that?
You can do it 2 separate ways. We can do it through communitykitchenmb.org, which is our website. There is a PayPal link that you can click on for that, or they can mail it in if they'd rather do that. We have 2 different mailing addresses. The P.O. Box would be the most secure way, and that would be P.O. Box 563, Myrtle Beach 29578.
And non-perishable food donations obviously accepted, but unfortunately you can't take anything that's been pre-prepared.
Yeah, unfortunately, people like to bake cakes and cookies. That's something that we can't take. We are a USDA organization, which means we have certain standards that we have to keep in our kitchen, and then we are also inspected by what used to be DHEC, which is now South Carolina Department of Agriculture does it. They come in once a year and make sure that everything is safe and that we're serving safely also, and we pass that with flying colors every year.
Well, we can't thank you enough for all you do for our community, and it's such a important and necessary organization, and that you and you do so much yourself on a daily basis, and we really thank you, and we urge everybody that the way you can help is simply by monetary funding, charitable donations. Please give. If you can, to the community kitchen, and if you can't, maybe think about volunteering, because you'll get more than you give by doing that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of wonderful people over there.
And that can be done through our website as well.
Excellent, excellent. And on behalf of the McGuire Law Firm, we wanted to give you this. It's our donation to you, and we love being involved and partner with you, and we want to help in any way we can. And again, thank you for all you do.
Our pleasure. Enjoy doing it.
This time of the year is the time of the year when people think about making donations to nonprofits, but the need for you and your services are 24/7, or at least 12 months out of the year.
Yes, yes it is.
It was a great point, Dave, because we
Yeah.
all think of Thanksgiving, which is probably the biggest day of the year for you, and the holidays. But you're right, the people are hungry 365 days a year, and
Yeah,
especially in this.
Yeah, and this is a time where everybody wants to volunteer, and that's great, and I understand that, but there's also 364 other days in a year that we need that help also. So
Yeah.
if you don't happen to be able to get in for Thanksgiving, still put something in there, put an email in for us, and we'll get you in there to volunteer at some point during the year.
All right, again, the the website is communitykitchenmb.org, communitykitchenmb.org. Go on there to find out how you can help, either monetarily, volunteer-wise, or by bringing some non-perishables to Sean. But Sean, thanks for everything you do, and thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Going to take a quick little break. When we get back in just 1 second, we'll be taking your phone calls. Workers' compensation, that is our topic here today on Legal Access, brought to you by the McGuire Law Firm. Welcome back. It's Legal Access being brought to you by the McGuire Law Firm. Today we're talking about workers' compensation. I want to thank our special guest from earlier, Sean Mazur from the Community Kitchen. Go online to communitykitchenmb.org if you want to find out more about that organization and how you can help them out. Right now we do want to take your phone calls. Numbers on your screen, 848-8080 if you have any questions about workers' compensation. If you've been hurt on the job, or if you know somebody who has, or if you're an employer or a manager and you have somebody you want questions on how you should handle accidents or injuries on the work site, give us a call here today and let us know how we can help you out. Again, workers' compensation, our topic here today on Legal Access. What kind of injuries at work rise to the level of needing an attorney to help you out with workers' compensation cases?
And I think that really you could benefit from having an attorney if you're injured at all at work. You could benefit from having an attorney. You're going to get assigned a case manager, through workers' comp, but they're doing they have a different job, right, than what an attorney who represents you in any kind of workers' comp claim is going to do. I really don't think there's anything too small. If you're injured and need medical treatment, especially if it's something ongoing where you're going to need treatment for a period of time, I think you'd benefit from having an attorney.
Yeah, and I think lay people don't realize that the benefits they might be entitled to with the workers' comp case. Certainly they should be, if you're out of work because of an injury, you should be getting paid 2/3 of your average weekly wage, and they should be directing your medical care. But at the end of your case, if you have any permanent injury, you should get usually entitled to a lump sum award for that, and there's certainly different roads that you can go down at the end of a workers' comp case depending on the type of injury and the extent of your injury. But it's, as you said, Brittany, it just makes so much sense to sit down with an attorney and understand what your rights are, because the other side being there's workers' comp insurance company that has their lawyers in the background that are sort of dictating things. So
Yeah. And I spoke with someone recently who said, well, I don't really need an attorney because I have a case manager. And so I hope that people understand that those are two different things. A case manager might be helping you get your doctor's appointments, or kind of coordinating your care and being sort of a go-between between the carrier and yourself and your doctor's offices, but they're not doing the same thing as an attorney would do.
They're not looking out for your legal interests. They might be a wonderful person, but at the end of the day, they're hired and paid by the insurance company, and they are just aiding and getting your medical care, which is a good thing. But
an attorney's office would work alongside them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, get rid of the case manager. We would be working alongside each other.
Then you also get the people who say, but so-and-so is my good friend. I mean, yeah, they're my boss, but I don't want to sue them because they're my friend.
That does come up as well. And, they have your friend who's your boss, should and likely does have workers' comp insurance for the situation where you get injured at work. You're not suing your friend, you're bringing a claim with their insurance carrier, which is what you're supposed to do, and they would understand that.
Yep.
Phone numbers on your screen if you'd like to give us a call. Workers' compensation, that's our topic here today on Legal Access. Let's go on the line right now. Jorge from Myrtle Beach is on with us. Thanks for calling in today. What's your question for the panel?
Well, the question is, somebody that I know is working from 10 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. And he got sick, and he quit for 5 months to get better. And he come back to the job, but he never got paid.
But he didn't get paid, is that what you said?
That's what it
Yeah.
sounded.
Okay, did he get hurt at work?
Well, this is my question. When somebody is working, he's a chef.
Okay.
When somebody's working from 10 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock in the morning at 9 o'clock they stop, to me is because he's working, right?
Yeah, I see your point.
He's spending all day, and this is how he got hurt.
Yeah, Jorge, that's why you really would sit down with an attorney in a situation like that, because there are certain things that you have to do to prove your case, okay? And one of them is showing a causal connection between your work and your injury. And you very well may be able to do that. I mean, with the details of the case that you've raised with us may or may not be related, but I certainly would sit down with an attorney to see if they could help you work with the doctor to see if there's a causal connection between the work and the injury and or the sickness. But I see how you'd feel that way if somebody's working 12 hours, 13-hour long days, and then they have either a back or a leg issue. It might certainly be from a repetitive trauma type case that we talk about, Dave, right, a lot on this show. So please go sit down with an attorney, and before it's too late, because there's definitely time limits that are in play in these type of cases. So I'd really encourage you, Jorge, to if it's a friend of yours, to encourage that person to get with an attorney and talk to an attorney as soon as possible. I don't know, Mike, if you have anything you want to.
Make sure you notify the employer.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a great point, Mike. Technically you have 90 days to show that an incident occurred, and there's exceptions on both exceptions to that. But if you feel it's work related, I would let the employer know immediately. I wouldn't wait 90 days. But the first thing I would do would be to sit down immediately with an attorney.
Yeah, drawing that line between working 11 hours a day and having a sickness would be tough, but I've never really thought about this question when we've done workers' compensation. I'm sure you've got people who've come to you and said, I work in such a high stress environment that I'm having either mental issues or physical issues, or I had a heart attack or a stroke due to my job. Is that anything that you can help with, or is that just...
It can be, and it really is very specific. The law wasn't set up for a person to get compensated because something happened at work that could have happened when you were at home just as easily. But if you can demonstrate that the work environment caused an unusual condition, that unusual condition is actually related to the work itself, and you need some help probably with a doctor's report or deposition to do that. But it's something that can be done, but you would definitely want to sit down with an attorney in a case like that.
All right, well, Jorge, thanks for calling in. Appreciate that. Our phone lines are open. Got about 10 minutes left in the show, so if you'd like to get a call in here to ask about workers' comp, either from the employer or the employee standpoint, we're open and we'll be happy to help you out. Call us and we'll get you on the air here. It's Workers' Comp Today on Legal Access, brought to you by the McGuire Law Firm. Welcome back. It's Legal Access, brought to you by the McGuire Law Firm. Today, workers' compensation is our topic, and here to answer your questions, we have Ian McGuire, Brittany Jones, Mike Smith, all from the McGuire Law Firm. We have Bob from Longs on the line with us right now. Hi, Bob. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for holding through the break. What's your question today?
Okay. I had a pretty serious work injury this past March at work, and I tore a bicep tendon and some other tendons, so I had to have surgery. And I didn't get the surgery till July.
Okay.
So they waited too long for the surgery, and I'm going to have probably some more permanent damage.
Yep.
And then through physical therapy, another tendon tore. So when this heals, they have to fix 2 nerves and the tendon. They have to graft it. So my question is, when should I start to get legal help?
Oh yeah, Bob.
After I go back to work?
No. I would really encourage you, because and now you basically are going to have an injury to 2 body parts, which can take you down a whole different road later on. And yeah, the delay, if it caused permanent issues that wouldn't have been there, that's an issue as well. But I would strongly encourage you to sit down with an attorney, Bob, right away before you go any further, and just find somebody that handles workers' comp cases
Right.
on a regular basis and sit down with them, because you really should have legal representation. And it sounds like it shouldn't have taken this long to have a surgery that should have, it sounds like should have been obvious.
Right.
But either way, it's something that you're going to have permanent damage from. You definitely want to sit down with an attorney.
Yeah, and the attorney will be able to help bring the causation issues to light too. It'll help
right.
link up the different injuries to the injury from work, because you do have sort of a situation where you've created one problem that's
Yeah.
created a second problem, and then
Yeah.
you're going to need to
Yeah.
have that linked together, and an attorney will help you do that.
Yeah, because Bob, without question, the second injury is related, because you're getting that medical care because of the issue, the initial incident at work.
Right.
So that's sort of a no-brainer as well. But you want to make sure you get coverage for all of that. Does that make sense? I don't know if he's still on with us.
Well, and having an attorney represent you for a workers' comp claim is not, there are lots of different types of representation people might need over time, and it's not something where that attorney's billing hourly, or like the sooner you hire them, it's going to cost you more money.
Right.
It's more like a personal injury type case, where it's just the legal fee is going to be just a percentage of what the total recovery is. So the sooner you get an attorney on board, in your corner, the better, and it does not cost you any more money.
Yeah.
by doing
I'm
that.
interrupting because
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page. Those weekly checks that you're getting, if you hire an attorney, the attorney doesn't get a percentage
Right.
of that. It's just that
right.
final settlement or award that comes at the end of the case. So Brittany's right. You might as well take advantage the earlier you can of have
Right.
that attorney working with you.
And in addition to that, the consultations are free as well, so don't be afraid to pick up the phone, because a lot of people say, oh my gosh, the second I call an attorney, it's going to start costing me. Not with the workers' comp case or personal injury case. So don't be afraid, Bob. I know this happened almost a full year ago, so pick up that phone, call somebody, and get them on your side immediately. Along the same lines, he said that happened this past March, potentially, I can't remember the exact date. Is there any kind of statute of limitations if you've been hurt at work that you need to get an attorney involved?
Well, we kind of already touched on the notice requirement for your employer. So you are required to give your employer notice of the injury within 90 days of the injury. So that's really the main thing that
Yeah.
you want to be wary of. And like I think Ian mentioned it earlier, you don't want to wait 90 days.
No.
Let them know as soon as you can, as soon as the injury occurs.
And technically, there's a 2-year statute of
Right.
limitations. That's
Yeah.
not an issue. Once your claim has started already, you're good.
And we only have a quick minute left, but as far as like Bob's situation is concerned, future meds, because it looks like this might be something that affects him for the rest of his life. Does that come in as far as a final settlement is concerned?
Yeah, there's a multitude of ways you could settle a case. I know we don't have time to get into them all. Some people settle their cases where they have open medicals. Others will resolve everything but get more monetary compensation in order to close their case out, which is called a clincher, a settlement on a clincher. So definitely important to sit down with an attorney, because you want to find the interest that's best for you.
All right, thanks everybody for watching here today as we've been talking about workers' compensation. When we get back next week, HOA law is going to be our topic. It's always a lot of fireworks involved with that topic, so make sure and tune in next Thursday at 11:30 a.m. for Legal Access HOA next week. I want to thank Ian McGuire, Brittany Jones, Mike Smith, all from the McGuire Law Firm being here. If you have any questions about workers' compensation, make sure and call an attorney and get a free consultation today. Also want to thank Sean Mazur from the Community Kitchen for being here as well.
You may wish to consult a lawyer to obtain case-specific legal advice. Information regarding lawyers can be located online or by contacting the South Carolina